Hi everyone, welcome to my page, Create It with Robin. My name is Robin, and so let's get started with this cute little winter tag. I did sell a bunch of these in my last live sale if you want to go back and watch that, and then private message me an order for whatever it is you want to grab, because I am going to be painting all 9 of these with you guys. So every week I will be here Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern to paint these with you. And today we're going to start with the little winter snowman mason jar tag. So hi Sam, let's get started. I already stained the back of my piece, and then I lost a button. First things first, I cleaned only a few pieces. I did not clean all of the pieces. I did clean the snowflake. I was like, what is this? I cleaned the snowflake. Yay me. I'm not cleaning the buttons. I'm not cleaning the winter word. I did clean the scarf. I'm not cleaning the top of the jar, and I did clean the front of the mason jar. And then I went ahead and I used the baby wipe method to stain the back of the piece, and I just use a gel stain, or you could use burnt umber, or even black. You could do black, whatever color you want to do. Stain your pieces on the back. That way the back is done. You don't have to worry about it or look at it again if you didn't want to. So first things first, I've got my colors separated. I have gray, red, white, black, and then 2 colors of blue, and this is going to be white. So I have a piece of foam board with painter's tape on it, and the sticky side is up. God bless editing, right? No doubt. All right, so I'm gonna put my gray there, my red there, put my black next to the gray. I'm gonna put this down for me to get a layer of white on it, but then I'll pull it right off because the rest of it's gonna be painted by hand. All right, so here's how I have my board laid out in case you want to do this and follow right along with me. First is white. I like to start with white, only being is that is going to be white, and so is the snowflake. And then I'm gonna give the scarf a layer of white so that I'm using a light blue, and that wood would come through, giving that blue a totally different color. So by putting down a layer of white first, covers up that wood, and then you get the true color to come through. Hi, Jody. Hi, Tammy. I gotta stop doing that. Calling people out when they haven't even commented. Someone over the weekend was like, or last week we were talking about that, and they're like, some people don't just want to watch and not be called out, so I need to stop doing that. Now I am taking my white and I'm just dragging it across the piece. If I had any places where it's scored or engraved, I would not want to put paint down in those areas, but because everything on here is getting covered, I'm not worried about the score lines getting paint in them. Hey, Jody. All right, so next is the snowflake. And I am just gonna tap this on. There's And I'm going to take a little paint, and I am going to tap this because of the score lines that are on it. So I'm going to be real careful not to get my paint down in those score lines, although if you do, before it dries, you'll want to get it out, and I would use like a sharp pokey tool, a scribe tool, a pen, anything that you have handy laying around to get that off. All right, I think that's good. So those are the 3 pieces. I'm doing white first. Hi, Tina. All right, I'm gonna do red next. I'm gonna let my white dry, and then we'll come back and give it a second, and then a 3rd coat. I like to do 3 coats of the white. I'm gonna do the light gray. I use one of those clear plastic cutting boards from Dollar Tree to put my paint on, and then it's really easy to clean it up. You could also use a silicone tray, a paper plate, whatever it is you want to use. All right, and then I'm going to do black. Don't need much. It's just for the buttons. I have to paint the Halloween thing after this from orders that I got before last Sunday. No, Sunday before last. All right, I'm turning on my air. Gotta dry it. Some of y'all wanted a heads up. Okay, going in with white again. And this time I'm gonna tap. I know in the past I've been doing more than one project on a live, but this one I actually have to be done by a certain time to make another appointment. So maybe next week I'll have time to do 2, but we'll just see. Like I should have done this one with the actual snowman one, but I don't have that much time today. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna paint and do my thing. I'm gonna do the red again. And then the gray. and the black. Dry their pieces and Facebook automatically mutes it. I went, oh, I didn't know that. How do I get on the dry muted? Here we go again. This is the third coat of white, and I am good with 3 coats most of the time on white, so this should be good. I can't remember who all bought what tag, but we will be doing all 9 of them. If you guys bought a tag, let me know, and I will actually go back into the orders and see which ones got bought, and I will try and do a couple of those next week. Okay, I think I'm good with the red, but I'm gonna do a little bit, one more hit, and then I'll take that off. That got some red on it. Okay, those can sit there and dry. Hey, Michelle. I wonder how they do it too. I'm guessing if you're saying that mine is not muted. Which I'm sorry, that's not me, or it might be a setting that I'm not aware of. Okay, so let's do this part, because I'm gonna have to hand paint this, and I lower myself so I'm more eye level to it, and I have to switch out my glasses. Okay, so I'm gonna take my lighter blue and work from a puddle here on my table. I'm gonna get the bristles wet. And I might switch to a smaller one because this is kind of big. Hold on. I thought that was gonna be good enough, but it looks it's a little big. Let's try this. I'm going to use a 1/4" angle brush. Let's see. This one's still a little on the big side, but it'll work. I like to move the project around when I'm painting because I am a directional painter, so it helps me get into areas that you can't get to if it's like taped down to something. So I'm just going through like that and painting those. I should only need one coat because this is covering really well. Hey Marianne, how are you? You guys, I hope you can join us for Chat and Chill tonight if you're in the duo group. I'm sure all the ladies that were gone last week have stories to tell. And if you guys haven't signed up for our virtual retreat with all 7 of the duo coaches, you need to do that. It's coming up quick. If you guys would share me out, I'd appreciate it. Hey, Christy. Okay, we're at least halfway through with this lighter blue color. Christy, you back to work? Home and back to work? I'm trying to see. I don't want there to be like dark blue, dark blue, dark blue. I think I want to switch that up because I'm going to hit light blue, light blue, light blue. Well, it's going to be under. All right, I'm going to switch this up. That's why you do the lighter colors first. The darker colors will hide any boo-boos. I got paint inside of a score line, so I just wanted to get it out before it dried. This is where I didn't want the dark blue to be on top of the dark blue because this is a big square. And it's this square right here that made me change my mind about the placement. Right there, this one. So on top of the scarf there, these are both gonna be dark blue. I didn't want that one to be dark blue, so I just switched them up. So over here where I painted 3 of them, that middle one will be dark blue. No big deal. You won't even know in a second that that's what that it was light blue before. All right. I'm gonna put what's left back in the bottle. Wash it out. And this is the darker blue. What are you guys doing on the Tuesday? Do you guys still have like vacations to go on for the end of the summer? So I'm doing the dark blue, the light blue, like that. The dark blue, This is just the tedious part, and then we get to play with shading and highlighting. You're working. I know. I know. I got a bunch of crafts to finish after bringing them all home. I didn't finish not one project. Not one. I got part way on most of them. You know, I'm almost done on some of them, and then I either didn't have something with me that I needed to finish, or there was just no time to finish, whatever the case was. And the last one that we did, I didn't even, that 3-tier cake, did not even get started. I brought the whole dang thing home. I'm like, I've already got too much to finish. Hopefully y'all can join us on Chat and Chill tonight. A lot of the ladies want to hear stories that weren't able to go or that were on virtual. You know, there's always stuff that happens in person that even virtual doesn't know about. But the DIY Duo coaches are having a virtual retreat August 3rd through the 9th. And we actually have kits that are being sold. So the price of the event and all of the kits are on the website, DIYduo.net. And you guys can check those out. On the description for the kits, it will tell you which coach the kit will come from. And if you're reading the descriptions, it kind of gives you a little hint of what will be made. So you guys can go check those out and join us. It's a total virtual event, but we are selling kits for some of the tutorials that are being taught where you can do it right along with us. Kind of like a make and take. I didn't do the last project, plus my husband had a ticket, so it was, oh, dang. Hi, Deneen. You're not late, girl. We're just chatting, and I'm painting. All right, so I've got the scarf tails done. Now I'm just gonna come up here and get the top of the scarf, and then I'll be done. This only needed like one coat of each color. It's going on good. How did your husband do with the crafts? Is he crafty? Or did he just did you just want him to hang out with you in the room because you were in the company. My husband would have said, peace out. I'll just stay in the room. All right, I got one more section, and this one will be done. Okay, so there's the little scarf. He didn't craft, he just told me how to do everything. He went fishing. Oh, yes. Then hung out with Christy's husband, but for the most part, he sat there. Aren't they weird? They get so uncomfortable around certain things. And then I think they hear stories of what's going on in the room and they just want to come in and like hang out just to see if we're pulling their leg. Oh, that really happened. All right, cleaned out my brush. Now I'm gonna come in and do some detailing. So you can do all of this with a sponge, which I'll show you on the red winter. I'm gonna use my sponge, but the rest of the time I'm gonna use my paintbrush. I'm more comfortable with my paintbrush, and so I'm just gonna do that. But a lot of this you can just do with your sponge. So all I wanna do is put a little highlight on the top of the winter, and I wanna do that in white. Because this is going against a white background, I don't want to like saturate it. I just want it to be like a peekaboo color. I want you to be able to still see the red behind it. So I'm just gonna take my sponge and I'm just going to gently go across the top. Like that. Hey, Nikki. Where do I go to find the virtual workshop? Let me put it right here. All right, so there's the website. If you're in the Duo group, there is a discount code for you guys to use at checkout. So you'll have to go find that code in the group. I'm not going to verbally say it over here, but go find that discount code if you're already in the group and use that, because then your ticket price is only $15 instead of the $20. I'm gonna do that one more time, and I'm just picking up and putting down. So I'm giving that a little bit more white, but you can still see the red through it, so that when I put it on my piece, it still reads, you know, the way it should. You're welcome. I had originally bought the ticket with intentions of gifting it to someone. Oh, no. Oh, that's so, that's tough, because those tickets are not cheap. Okay, so I'm gonna take, let's see, what color do I want to do? I'm gonna do, so my original gray was this gray. I'm gonna come in with a little bit darker gray. And again, I could use a sponge. I'll show you that again. So I'm just gonna use the same gray sponge that I had, but with a different gray color. You're welcome, Marianne. I will tell you to purchase your ticket and your kits. If you want any of the kits, they have to be purchased separately, because my website can't check you out with a digital product, which is what the virtual ticket is. It's a digital product, and the kits are physical products, so it won't check you out at the same time. You have to purchase the kits separately from your event ticket, unfortunately. But yes, I don't know if you can see that darker gray on there. And I'm just going to come over to my mason jar lid. I was like, again, what is that? And I'm just going to tap the edges. I got a little more in there than I want. So I need to move this paint right here, which I can't, it's already dry. So I just put, I don't even know, can you see it? I'm gonna do a little more. This time I'm gonna use my brush because, like I said, I need my clean paint water to do that. A little bit more paint. And I'm gonna make that blend in better because I don't like that look. Right like that versus the other side. I think I get a little bit better look with my brush than I do trying to shade with a sponge, but doing it with a sponge is doable. If you want to learn more of the painting technique that I'm doing, I do teach that in my private paint group called the Wood Nook. All right, I think that's good. Now I'm gonna go back to white because I wanna do these. Hey Ann, how are ya? What you making? I'm making a mason jar tag with a snowman look. So I'm gonna take the white sponge and on my black buttons, I'm just gonna give it a little kiss of white on one side. Okay, those are done. Now on my scarf, I'm gonna give it some white and I'm gonna use my brush because this won't get into this area here very well. It's too skinny. The sponges are too thick. Good Lord, I can't think. All right, so I'm just going to come through. I'll show you guys in just a second. So I left the top, but you can see it's starting to highlight on the edges with the white. And I will go over and do that a second time because it does take a couple of times for the white to like really show. And I will spray glitter this when I'm done. I really like the look. So I'm gonna seal it and then spray glitter it. And I use Krylon Glitter Blast and Diamond Dust for that. And then I use a semi-gloss sealer, which is also a spray paint. Or you could seal it with like DuraClear, polyacrylic. That was a lot. There we go. I like that look. Okay. I like it, I like it. Michael's had to kill some time because I was on the road and on the way it was closed. The road on the way home was, oh, yeah. I remember you telling us that. It took you way longer to get home than it should have. I remember. Okay, I just gotta do the top one more time and this part will be done. Okay, now I need to work on the jar, and I'm gonna do it in the lighter blue color all the way around. more than 12 hours. What? Oh no, I did not know that. I saw where they like carried him on the stage for that last concert. Wow, that was fast. But he did what he loved right up till the last moment. I could have shopped longer, but at least I was able to get the stuff that, oh yes. Well, that's awesome. So on this, I'm going around the edge in that lighter blue. This you could totally do with a sponge, because there's no edges you've got to get around and into and all the things. Okay. I want to make sure this covers. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right, so there's the tag with the blue around the edge, or the mason jar. So now we can start gluing. Here's my glue. What I like to do first is to make sure my pieces, because I've been known to paint things backwards, but that looks good. All right, I'm gonna start with my smaller pieces and get them on. I'll put it on there, but you see it's got globs of paint, so I'm gonna dab it off on my paper and then put it over the score mark for the buttons. So there's score marks on there. You can still see them even though I've painted 3 layers on this piece. You can still see them. Thank you, Anne. Hi, Holly. Did any of you guys purchase this one? This mason jar? So with the words being skinny like they are, I will also do it the same way. I put the paint on, globby, and then I'm gonna just tap it off on my paper and then put it in place. And if you have to pick it up and move it so that you don't see any of the score line underneath it, do that. So I got it on there. Now I'm gonna come up to the top and put my jar topper on. Same way, it's a skinny piece, so I'm gonna globally put my paint on. and then tap off. Put it on there, and I like to pick it up and make sure I can move it into place. I do use Type Bond Quick and Thick as my glue, and I just put it in a precision tip bottle. So this is the glue, and I just put it in a smaller bottle. And I like to look from the back to make sure I'm not seeing raw wood on it. So there's the lid. I did stain the sides because I wasn't sure. I knew this was going to hang over, but I wasn't sure about that top piece. But I think it gets covered, so I'm not gonna. I didn't need to stain those little end pieces. So I ran glue down just the one side of the one that's going to hang off. So you can see it hangs off the side, but since it's the same color, because it's stained the same color as the back, it's all good. All right, so the little snowflake, I should have stained it too. I still have my stain, so I'm gonna do that real quick because I think it's gonna hang over the side just a little bit. And if you don't, this is what you end up seeing. You can see you can see the raw wood back there. So I'm just gonna quickly get that. Right, like that. Let's let that sit for a minute. All right, while we're waiting on that to dry, I have a piece of jute twine. 14 inches is what I like to have my hangers on. And I'm going to fold it in half and pull it so I have a loop at the bottom. I take the loop and I go from front to back on my piece here. And I'm gonna feed those two through that loop. And then pull it tight. I like the look of the piece coming across the front of the two. I don't know why, some people don't care, but that's how I like it. All right, so that's good. I can go ahead and glue that on. So that's where I glued that. It's just kind of right in, I put the middle of the snowflake in the middle of where all three pieces of the scarf come together. All right, so I have my hanger on. Now I'm gonna take a piece of floral wire. Change my glasses. And I'm gonna take my twine one at a time, and I'm gonna put it through the bead that I have. I have these little blue beads that are gonna match the color of the blue on the project, and they have little snowflakes on them. And these are acrylic. Okay, so I got that. I don't want to push it all the way down because I still got to get this other one in there. The holes on these acrylic beads are so much smaller. So I'm gonna take this and pull it tight so that I can get my wire through. Maybe, there we go. And then I'm gonna take a pair of needle nose pliers and pull it through the other end. There we go. Right like that. That's a perfect color. I didn't even plan that. And then I'm gonna come up to the end here and tie it off. If this was a smaller bead and it slid up and down the twine easily, I would put a knot right here in my twine, but this isn't going anywhere. It's in there pretty tight. So I'm just gonna knot it up here at the top. And so that's what I've got so far. Now I want to add a bow. I'm going to turn on my hot glue gun real quick. I'm going to do the bow in red and white. That'll help bring out that little red accent of the word winter on the project. We're right at an hour. I'm doing good. Remember, this video will be uploaded to YouTube if you purchase this item. And if you didn't purchase it during my last live, reach out to me, private message me, and I can get that for you. I'm gonna make it a little smaller. That's a good one. All right, so right here where the twine and the hole are is where I'm going to push that bow right into gluing it down. That's right where it's going to sit. And there we go. Now the only other thing I will do to this is, well, I'll just go ahead and do it with you since we're here, but I may need a different pen. So I have these Mr. Pen permanent markers. They are a chisel tip marker. I like to have the tip towards the painted side of my wood pieces, and carefully I should have done this before I put any ribbon or anything on it. I'm gonna get rid of all the white. You can see like the white on the edge and, you know, over here. But when you do this, it cleans up your edges. Really nice. And I need my other glasses. I can't see close up. I have to have my cheaters. So I'm just going in and cleaning these up. All right, so here's the side that's not been cleaned versus the side that has. Isn't that a lot nicer? I think it just looks a whole lot better. And normally I will do this before I even glue stuff together, but I got excited to paint. If you get paint on the front of your project, sand it off and do it again. Because the paint marker, these markers do bleed. And before I even spray seal them, I will let this dry for a little bit, because even the spray sealer will make it bleed if it's not completely dry. You have to take that chisel tip and get into some of these little crevices, which is why it's sometimes easier to do that when it's not got anything glued to it. My bad, you guys. Don't do that with yours. Clean the edges first before you start gluing stuff together. But it looks a lot better now. I just have this little part here behind the bow, and I'll be done. Okay, all done. There it is. Thank you, Christy. Anyways, you guys, that's the project for today. I will be back next Tuesday making a different one. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for hanging out with me. I love painting and love teaching you guys, but you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye now.